Hello boys and girls, welcome to Arts and Crafts at the library. I'm so glad you've joined me today. We're going to be making kitty cat puppets. All I've used are paper plates, tongue depressors, some construction paper and yarn for the whiskers, and then you can either color it with markers or crayons. So let's get started. You'll first want to take your scissors and cut a little U shape in the top, and that's what makes his ears. So you can draw it ahead of time if you need to, or just cut it freehand. And now I've got his little pointed ears at the top. So then I'm gonna pick what color I wanna make him. Maybe I'll do this one, an orange cat. You could do black for Halloween, or you could do gray stripes. You could even make up your own colors. Maybe have a purple cat. So I'm going to color the whole front of my paper plate and go all the way around. You could leave some places white if you wanted it to be striped. And you can use markers. That might go a little faster, but I'm using crayons today. And kind of have to work your way around the rim. That's the only part that's a little bit hard to get to color when you're going back and forth like this. So I've just about got my whole paper plate colored. And in a minute I'm going to show you some books about kitty cats that we have here at the library. You could make it look like your pet cat or your neighbor's cat or just a cat you've seen. Anyway, there's his orange fur, and now I'm going to take some pieces of construction paper. I think I'll use brown. Uh-oh, just dropped my yarn. I'm going to use construction paper for the little points on his ears, and I've got a big rectangle here, so I can just cut the corners off. And I'll need to make them a little bit skinnier, so I'm just trimming a little off, and that's what I'm going to glue right there in the corner for his ear. You can use a glue stick or your school glue. There's one. And then again, that's a little bit too wide, so I'm trimming it down a tiny bit smaller, and it'll fit nicely right in that corner. So there are his ears. And I'm going to do another triangle, but this time I think I'll use black for his nose. Now I've already got this scrap of paper here that's got some triangles pointing, or one triangle pointing up. I'll just cut that off and put that right there in the middle for his nose. And then he's going to need his eyes. Maybe I'll use green, and I'll do circles first for the outside part of his eyes. And I want him to be the same size, so I'm going to use the first one I just cut as a pattern and cut out another one so they'll be the same size. Go right around that first one that I already cut, and now I've got two circles. That'll be, oh, that's a little big. I'm going to trim it down just a little bit. Probably the size of a ping pong ball, if you know what those look like. That would be a good size for his eyes. So there's the outer circle. And now I'm going to make, I think I'm going to put yellow kind of elliptical shape in the inside of the circle. And again, I'm going to fold my paper in half so that I get two the same size. So now this is kind of an oval or elliptical shape, and I'm going to put that right in the middle but I'm going to trim it down a tad so that it fits right inside that green circle. And now one more, I need my black paper to make the little pupils in the middle. So I'll fold my piece of paper in half and cut 2 circles, much smaller than the other ones. And those are going to be the pupil in the center of his eye. So let's see here, I'm going to put my glue for my circle and then a little glue on top of that for that oval shape, and then the pupil right in the middle. And I'm going to do it again on this side, and now he'll have both his eyes. And now I'm going to make his mouth with a marker. And I think I'll make him smiling. And I kind of need to go back over it because it's a little hard to get marker to draw over crayon sometimes. You have to maybe go over it a time or two. And now all he needs are his whiskers, and I'm going to use some black yarn. And I think I'll cut them about 2 inches long, and I'll use several strips of yarn to give him at least 6 whiskers. So that gives me 4, 5, 6. So you don't need much. If you have string around the house instead of yarn, that works too. And if you don't have anything like that, you can just draw with your marker and put whiskers on that way. So now I'm using my glue to stick his whiskers on. And it's a little hard to get them to stay on the plate and not stick to my fingers. There we go. 2 more. And then the last thing will be to put a tongue depressor on the back to turn him into a puppet. But here's what he looks like so far. And let me see, I've got a tongue depressor here somewhere, and I'll need my tape. Usually 2 or 3 pieces of tape will hold it. So I'm going to turn him over and put my tongue depressor there. If you don't have one of these, you can use a popsicle stick or just a stick from outside, a chopstick, anything like that'll do. And there's my kitty cat puppet. And you could make several and put on a puppet show. You could do the 3 little kittens. Let me show you some books I have about cats. Here we've got Pete the Kitty and the Case of the Hiccups by James Dean. That one looks like fun. Here's Mr. Putter and Tabby Pick the Pears. This one's by Cynthia Rylant. And here we've got Scat Cat by Alyssa Capicilli, and all of these can be found in the Easy Reader section here at the library. So I hope you'll come check out a book and make a kitty cat puppet. Thanks for joining me today. Bye-bye.